Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar on creating campaigns in Pinterest Ads Manager. Just a really quick housekeeping note before we start. Please use the audio settings button on the left bottom corner to adjust your audio options or open this meeting directly in Zoom using the link. So let's get started. I'm Tanmay, and I'm a lead product manager at Pinterest. I joined Pinterest in 2025 to oversee our app and measurement solutions across Europe. Today, I'm joined by my incredible colleagues, Dave and Vasuda, whom you'll be hearing for over the next webinar. Over the next hour or so, we're going to help you learn how to create a conversions campaign in our Ads Manager using Pinterest Performance Plus. We'll kick off by talking about what you can do in Ads Manager and go over the campaign structure. Second, we'll unpack how to align your KPIs to the funnel. Third, we'll guide you through building a campaign using best practices. Following this, we'll walk you through the reporting dashboards. And finally, we'll highlight the best practices for creating a campaign and wrap up with a Q&A. So, let's get started with a brief overview of Pinterest Ads Manager. Think of Ads Manager as the tool that gives you the control to execute your marketing strategy on Pinterest. Ads Manager is designed to help you do three things. Create. This is where you build your campaigns from the ground up. This is where you'll set up the hierarchy of campaigns, ad groups, and ads. It involves selecting your objective, defining your targeting, and uploading your creative assets, such as images or videos. Manage. Once your ads are live, you can monitor their status and make optimizations here. In this phase, you'll monitor your active campaigns and take actions to improve performance. This includes pausing underperforming ads, duplicating successful ad groups to scale them, or editing budgets and bids. Finally, report. This is where you analyze your performance data to see what's working. You can use the standard campaign manager, previously ads reporting dashboard, to visualize performance over time. For deeper analysis, you can build custom reports to track specific metrics that are relevant to your KPIs and download them as CSV files for your internal stakeholders. Before we start planning, it's really critical to understand the hierarchy of a Pinterest ads account. Every campaign that you run is built on specific structure made up of three components. If you look at the diagram on the right of your screen, you'll see that they nest inside one another. So let's break down this anatomy. The structure follows a strict hierarchy designed to keep your strategy organized and effective. The ad account. At the highest level, you have your ad account. Think of this as your home base. It houses your billing details, permissions, and your aggregate data and reporting. The campaign. Sitting inside the account are your campaigns. This is where you define your high-level goal. As we'll see in the next slide, this is where you select your objective, whether that is awareness, consideration, or conversions. This setting acts as your North Star for everything nested under it. The ad groups. Campaigns house your ad groups. This is where you define the who and the how. At this level, you determine the targeting, such as the audiences and interests, your budget, and your bidding strategy. Ideally, you want to consolidate these to avoid fragmenting your budget. The ads. Finally, each ad group contains a collection of ads. This is the what, the actual creative that the user sees. This includes your images, videos, headlines, and destination URLs. So just a recap of the flow, campaigns house ad groups, and ad groups house your ads. Now it's time to start planning. We'll move into section 2, where we'll learn how to align your business goals with your campaign objectives and KPIs. We want to make sure that we're optimizing for the right metric. Before we touch a button, we have to define success. Are you measuring purchases, signups, or return on ad spend, or ROAS? It all starts with your business goal. Your business goal is the big picture outcome that you want to drive. It guides all of your marketing and advertising activity, including what happens on Pinterest. It might be to grow revenue, build your brand awareness, or launch a new product for a key market. So let's take an example. Maybe you're trying to launch and successfully introduce a new eco-friendly skincare line, driving brand awareness and sales among Gen Z consumers. Then we have the SMART goal. A SMART goal turns that business ambition into a really clear objective that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. It keeps your team aligned on what success looks like. So an example of this might look like achieving a 15% increase in online sales of that new skincare line within 6 months, targeting women aged 18 to 24. In the middle, we have the campaign objectives. Campaign objectives help define what that specific Pinterest campaign needs to deliver to support your SMART goal. Here you answer the question, what job does Pinterest need to do in my overall marketing mix? For example, generate 50,000 product page views from Pinterest users in your target demographic over the first 3 months of your campaign. Pinterest offers 5 key campaign objectives. It's important to consider your business goal carefully and select the objective that best aligns with it. A common mistake that we see advertisers who want lower funnel results, such as sales, but they might run mid-funnel consideration campaigns just to get cheaper volume. This misses the user intent. If you want conversions, you must align your objective strictly to the lower funnel outcome so that our algorithm can find people who are ready to act, not just people who are ready to click. A strong campaign starts with clear goals and shared view of how you will measure success. You move from having a broad business vision to specific Pinterest outcomes, and then to the signals that prove that your campaign is working. Each layer builds on the last so that your campaign is strategic, focused, and set up to deliver results. To achieve your objective, every aspect of your campaign, including the targeting, ad formats, creative, messaging, and success metrics, should be intentionally selected with that specific goal in mind. So let's start with your business goal. And finally, your KPIs and metrics. Once your objectives are clear, identify the key performance indicators or KPIs and supporting metrics that will show if your Pinterest campaign is on track. Don't just list the numbers. Choose the metrics that connect directly back to your goals. For examples, for awareness, use impressions, reach, and cost per mil or CPM. For consideration, use cost per click or CPC and click-through rates, CTR. And finally, for conversions, use conversion rate, cost per acquisition or CPA, and return on ad spend or ROAS. Here's how you can see your business goals for conversions translate to a media objective when setting up an ad campaign. Once you've selected your objective, the next critical step is defining how you will measure success. This slide here will serve as your cheat sheet for aligning your KPIs to the right funnel stage, Pinterest objective that you've just selected. So for awareness, if you've chosen that as your objective, your focus is on visibility. You should be tracking CPM, cost per mil, reach, unique viewers, and frequency. The goal here is to understand how efficiently you are getting your brand in front of the right people. Consideration. If you're in this phase, the focus shifts from traffic and interaction. Here, your success metrics should be CPC or cost per click, CTR, which is your click-through rate, and outbound clicks. You want to know that people are stopping to engage and actually clicking through to your website. Conversions. Finally, if you're running a conversion campaign, it's all about the bottom line. Your primary metrics really become CPA, or that cost per acquisition, conversion rate, as well as ROAS, which is that return on ad spend. The most common pitfall we see is a mismatch here, such as judging an awareness campaign by its return on ad spend. To get a true read on performance, you must ensure that your measurement strategy matches your objective from day one. And now I'll hand over to Dave to see how we can create these campaigns on Pinterest Ads Manager.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Tanmay. My name is Dave. I'm a product marketing manager here at Pinterest working on shopping. So now that you understand how to identify your business goal, your campaign, your objective, and your KPI, we're ready to start building your campaign in Ads Manager. So we'll move into section 3, where we'll take you through these concepts and apply them step by step during campaign creation. So now that we have our strategy locked in, it's time to actually execute our campaign in Ads Manager. So when you go to set up your campaign, you'll see an option designed to make your life easier, the Pinterest Performance Plus suite. Using Pinterest Performance Plus campaigns brings our very best AI and automation capabilities right into your campaign creation workflow. It's designed specifically to optimize ad delivery, improve targeting, and maximize your efficiency, particularly for lower funnel campaigns. And by toggling this on in Ads Manager, you're streamlining your execution. In fact, it requires 50% fewer inputs to create a campaign, and on average, advertisers using it are seeing a 20% improvement in CPC or CPA compared to their standard manual setups. And now, a common concern with automation is the fear of losing control over your execution. But with Pinterest Performance Plus, we like to say that you're getting automation with control. So when you're setting up your campaign, you still control the strategy. You will still manually set up your campaign objectives and KPIs, defining your total budget and flight dates, uploading your core creative messaging, and exclude geographic locations that matter to your campaign or include them as well. So what you are handing over to the platform are all of the really tedious and tactical optimizations. The system automates real-time bidding, adjustments, your audience targeting and expansion, your placement across the platform, budget pacing, and even creative rotation as well. So you set the guardrails and Ads Manager does all of the heavy lifting. So what does this actually mean for your day-to-day workflow in Ads Manager? So it means that you're getting strategic control paired with tactical automation. Firstly, it drives efficiency, reducing the time that you spend manually optimizing campaigns by over 50%. And it also offers predictability using AI-driven pacing to prevent those sudden budget surprises. And this ultimately allows for scalability. You can manage more campaigns and test more strategies without adding errors to your workday. And more importantly, it gives you that performance that you want, yielding the same or better results with significantly less manual work as well. So when you activate a Pinterest Performance Plus campaigns, it transforms 4 key pillars of your Ads Manager setup. The first one is targeting. So instead of manually guessing which keywords or interests to select, the system uses visual search technology to understand the context of your pin and automatically serves it to relevant users, expanding your reach automatically. The second is bidding. The system will dynamically adjust your bids in real time to help you deliver the maximum number of outcomes for your budget. Thirdly, it's budgets. So it efficiently distributes your budget across multiple days so you aren't manually shifting your funds around. And fourth and finally, creative. It automatically creates shopping and collection ads directly from your catalog, saving you immense creative production time. And you can see this in this next slide. So as we prepare to build our campaign, which we'll do live, let's look at the paths that you can take. On the left-hand side, you can see the more traditional manual setup. This requires you to manually pull every lever across 6 distinct steps, including defining your own targeting and bidding strategies. However, on the right, you'll see our recommended path, the Pinterest Performance Plus suite. Notice how much shorter this list is. Since the automation suite is automating your targeting, your bidding, and your optimization, you only need to give it some core inputs to get going. Those include your objective, your budget, and your creative, and the system handles the heavy lifting for you. So instead of just walking you through these steps in theory, we're going to show you exactly what this looks like in practice with a fake brand that we have invented. We're going to build that campaign together now. So introducing you to Home, who do not exist, do not buy their products. They are a fake brand. During the demo, we'll show you how we're going to set up a consideration and conversion campaign for Bluxome using Pinterest Performance Plus, using that super easy automated flow and also the manual flow too. Some things to call out here. They are a mid-sized direct-to-consumer fashion brand selling minimalist dresses, trousers, and tops, tailored blazers and outerwear, and capsule wardrobe essentials. Their average order values are around £140, so about 2 items an order, and they want to grow quickly as well. So, thinking about their campaign before we build, I want to highlight 3 important decisions that they will probably need to make throughout that process. With objective, we'll be selecting conversion and we'll also create a consideration campaign as well, where we can tell the system upfront to optimize for specific outcomes. They're looking for that measurable revenue. Their North Star is checkouts ultimately and ROAS, so a conversions campaign with Pinterest Performance Plus is a really great fit. On budget, we need to set up a budget that is unconstrained enough to allow for learning. So we're going to avoid any tiny fragmented budgets and give the system enough room to capture a meaningful amount of conversions. And for Buxome, we're choosing a budget that's large enough for Pinterest Performance Plus to gather signals and optimize towards conversions efficiently. If the budget is too low, the system can't learn quickly enough. And if it's too high for their relative goals, then they risk spending inefficiently. So we're going to do a 20K 4-week test, which is a realistic learning budget for a brand of their size. And then finally, on creative, we are going to be uploading over 10 diverse assets here. This is where we describe who the customer is by showing the lifestyle, the products, and what they should care about. And because Pinterest Performance Plus takes care of a lot of their targeting, Luxome are using creative as their main lever. Their pins are highlighting real life outfit scenarios, commuter looks, weekend fits, and travel capsules. So the system learns show this to people who love capsule wardrobes, minimalist style, and elevated basics. So when you build, when we start building, you'll be able to see how you can upload and organize these creatives to help support that goal. So now I'm going to switch over to Ads Manager to show you how this looks like in practice. And while I set this up, I want you to focus on those 3 important decisions that we discussed: objective, budget, and creative. Everything else we're letting automation handle. So without further ado, this is Pinterest Ads Manager. This is my own personal account. This is your central hub to create, manage, and report on your campaigns in Pinterest. So everything we'll do will follow the same structure you'd use in a real account. Pick an objective, set up a budget, schedule, and plug in your creative, and let Performance Plus do all the heavy lifting on automation. But before we begin, I'll show you where everything lives in Ads Manager. So I'll tap at the hamburger menu on the top left-hand corner. You can see all these suites of options start appearing. On the left, you'll see Create. This is where you'll create organic pins and ad creatives. And it's a great place to start if you're building out assets and you want really beautiful pins on your profile as well. Next, you've got Manage Campaigns. And this is where you're going to do all of your advertising management. This is where you build your campaigns, tweak your budgets, and check performance. And honestly, it's where most advertisers will spend most of their time. Next is analyzing your performance. This is your analytics home. This is where you can do everything from top line reach, impressions, and clicks, all the way down to things like conversion insights around sales and leads. And then finally, you've got managed business. On the far right, this is where you'll set up things like your billing, your audiences, and your Pinterest tag, so we can track what happens on your website. We're going to spend the most of our time today under manage campaigns and analyze performance. So I'm going to hit click campaign and we'll be brought to this lovely page. And you can see here on the top right, it says automated campaign. So this is the Performance Plus super easy to use flow. And you can toggle between these at any time on this page. You can choose between the automated campaign, which is that Performance Plus path with fewer inputs and faster setup, or the manual campaign, which has more levers exposed if you want to configure everything yourself. For now, we're going to set up a very quick consideration campaign using the automated flow and benefiting from all the great things that Performance Plus can help me speed up. So this is going to tell Pinterest to help me find people who are likely to click on my ad and visit my website. That's a great place to start when you're still ramping up your tag and you might not have a lot of conversion history yet. So I click next, and now I'm step 2 of 2 already. It's selecting or creating the pins that you want to promote. And I can either select pins I've already have from my boards or paid partnerships or create a brand new one from scratch. To create a pin, it's super easy. All you do is drop an image or a video here, select a board you want it to live on. You can create one too from there and give it a title, description, and a destination link. Done. Super easy. For demo purposes, I've already created a few here today, the Max Book Zone's brand and tone. I will not be using the signed photo of me here, unfortunately. That was from a different test. We'll add those 8 pins. You can see they've already pre-populated here with their ad names, destination URLs, and you can also add in your ad tracking URLs as well. So super easy to get going. I hit next, and that's pretty much it done. But Pinterest Performance Plus is then give me a quick summary of the choices it's making on my behalf, but I can always edit them too. So I can see it's giving me an automated campaign name. My campaign goal is there. There's age restrictions, so I can go in and say, I want to show this to people who are 18 or 21 or older, or change my location targeting. I'm going to choose Ireland for now, but I'm pretty happy with this so far. I click publish, and that's it. It's super easy. That campaign is now ready to go for approval, and it should be live very shortly. I'm going to pause it for now. But I do also want to show you the more manual side of things as well. So if we go back into that flow, so we click on the hamburger menu, hit create campaign, and instead of automated campaign, we'll choose a manual campaign. This gives you the full gamut of options, and it's very helpful for education because it shows you all of the different objective choices and levers that live under the hood. Firstly, we'll pick a campaign objective, and this is going to determine how we bid in the auction and which ad formats are available too. And we group our objectives into 3 big buckets. So, building awareness, where you can drive either reach and video views, which is great for top funnel brand campaigns. Drive consideration, like the campaign we just built, is for traffic and engagement, very similar to that campaign we just built there. And then finally, there's getting conversions. So, sending people to your website to take action or driving sales from your shopping catalog. And you can really think of these as the skeleton of your campaign. It holds the big strategic decisions like objective and budget. And under that, you'll have your ad groups, which are like the muscle of the campaign, where all of your targeting and scheduling details will live. And we'll see those in just a second. So for the next part of the demo, I'm going to show you a conversion campaign in the manual flow. And it's still powered by Performance Plus. And you can see some of the new features that we've got coming as well. So I've selected that there. You can see it's already given me a campaign name and ad group names as well. And I have the option to optimize for new customer acquisition. So I can actually bid up for new customers if that's something that I care about right now within my goals. So I can do that. I already have a segment of all my existing customers here who have bought from BookZone, and I can then bid open them later using some value rules. Next, it takes me over to campaign budgets and scheduling. And here, this is where, because this is more performance focused test, and we have that 20K test, if you remember, we wanted to make sure that over the 4 weeks that we're going to be hitting that 20K. So I'm going to set about 725 here as my daily budget, and Pinterest's Performance Plus budgeting will help me manage that budget over the course of that period to make sure I'm not overspending and I'm also bidding on the right users as well. And I won't forget, I need to set in that 4 week end date. I think it's the 29th. Um, and if you remember earlier, I set up that new customer the new customer acquisition up here. So I'm going to optimize for new customers here as well. I can do that very simply. I will say if there's a new customer, I want to actually bid open them by say 25% just to get them in as well. Next is promotions. So this is lets you feature offers directly in your ads without rebuilding tons of different creative variants. And you can schedule up to 5 promotions with sequential dates. So for example, if you have a sale on this weekend, you don't need to create a brand new ad and have it learn all over again. Just set up a promotion. It's super easy. All you have to do is tell us what the promotion is and what date it's going to run on, and it will dynamically and scheduled apply to your ad as well. I have one on for this weekend where I'm running a 20% discount. I'll hit apply, and you can see over the weekend that will then append onto my ads as well. Next up is targeting. So very similar. I'm going to start by targeting people in Ireland, but actually I'm going to expand this. I'm going to put in the United Kingdom as well. There we go. And again, I can choose my ages or apply any further audience exclusions as well. And then finally, you've got your optimization and delivery, which is where you can choose between goals like ROAS bidding, for example, which is going to drive the highest checkout value to maximize ROAS for your budget, or conversions as well. I need to set my conversion event. So for this one, it's going to be checkout, but you can choose whatever you like. And then very similarly, again, it's your ads. So very much the same like last time, I'm going to choose some of the pins I've already built, and you can just tap and select them here, like so. Oh, I have them all in there. You can see them all pre-populate, and you'll see some of the examples of how this looks like, and that promotion I just applied down there as well. Now, you can see here on the right-hand side the optimization score. I've not done a bad job. So it's giving me a 95 out of 100 for my campaign. The only thing I'm getting a mark against is URL parameters and not applying them. And I'm sure you'll do a much better job than I can in terms of doing that. But that is it for the quick automated setup and the quick manual setup as well within Pinterest Ads Manager. So let's recap some of the three big decisions to get right. Objective and setup mode. So starting with the automated consideration campaign, if your conversions are still ramping and graduating to something like Pinterest plus conversions, once you've logged at least one recent checkout. Your budget and value signal. So using a single solid budget and value rule so Performance Plus can understand what matters most, especially if you value new customers. And then finally, with creative and promotions, treat creative as your targeting lever. It's giving the system at least 5 to 10 diverse assets. That's how I got such a good optimization score. And promotions, plus using the optimization score to help guide you without rebuilding everything from scratch. So that is it from me on the demo side of things. I'm going to hand over to Vasudha. Vasudha, over to you.
Thank you, Dave. Hi, everyone. I'm Vasudha. I'm a product marketing manager at Pinterest as well, and I'm focusing specifically on the performance products. So now that we've launched the campaigns, thanks to the brilliant demo by Dave, the most question common that we usually have is who saw my ads? And we'll try to answer that throughout this section. So even with automation, you aren't flying blind. You can use the reporting dashboards to see interest breakdowns. As an example, you might see in your campaigns that your home decor category drove 5,400 conversions, while your ceramic decor drove 1,500 conversions. The way you use this data is then to inform your next batch of creative, leaning into themes that are working. Next, I'll walk you through the reporting dashboard on Ads Manager, which brings us to the Campaign Manager dashboard, which is essentially the engine room for your day-to-day management. While the previous slides discussed strategy, this is the actual page where you monitor and manage your live campaigns. As you can see in the screenshot, the interface is designed to give you two layers of insights. On top, you see a graph that provides a quick visual trend line, allowing you to instantly spot spikes or drops in performance over your selected time period. And below that, you see the detailed breakdown, where you have a granular table view. This allows you to toggle between campaigns, ad groups, and ad views to see specific metrics such as ad spend, results, and CPM side by side. This is likely where you're going to spend most of your time optimizing, using the filters at the top, adjusting your date ranges, conversion settings to ensure that you're looking at the right data. You have the ability to filter and customize for different cuts of data based on your needs. Ad campaign management actions start here. Now, once your campaigns are live, your daily starting point should be the ads overview page. Think of this as the pulse check for your account. Again, as you can see on the screen, the top section gives you an immediate snapshot of your high-level metrics: total spend, impressions, checkouts, and revenue. Directly below that, pay attention to the recommendation section. The system proactively identifies opportunities such as raising a bid on a high-performing campaign so that you can optimize with a single click. And finally, you have a list of active campaigns at the very bottom for a quick status check. While the overview page is great for quick health checks, sometimes you do need to dig deeper. And this is where the custom report section comes in. This tool allows you to build bespoke report templates with specific metrics that matter to your business. A pro tip here is to use the scheduling feature. By using this scheduling feature, you can set these reports to run automatically and arrive in your inbox, or sometimes you can even send it to some stakeholders' inboxes as a CSV file on a recurring basis, which saves you from pulling this data manually every week. So before we open it up for a Q&A section, let's move into our final section, which is best practices. Now that we understand the mechanics of our platform, let's shift focus to the inputs that you can control. We'll cover how to fuel the algorithm with the right data, why your creative strategy is now your most powerful targeting tool, and how to effectively measure success. Our first best practice is to lean into automation by using Pinterest Performance Plus. Let's compare what happens when it's turned off versus when it's turned on. When Performance Plus is off, advertisers can often fall into two traps. The first one is over-targeting, which sometimes results in excluding high-intent users. And second is fragmenting their budgets across too many ad groups, which leads to inefficiency of spend. However, when Performance Plus is on, our algorithm solves both of these problems. It fluidly targets high-intent users that you would have otherwise missed, and it consolidates your budgets to learn faster and drive down your overall costs. Beyond automation, creative is your primary lever for targeting. Our visual search technology works best when it quickly understands your pins and matches them to the relevant users. As a best practice, you should aim for 10 or more diverse assets per each campaign. And by diverse, I don't just mean uploading 10 similar images, for example, of a shoe. What you should do instead is try uploading a mix of shoes, shirts, accessories, lifestyle shots, and product shots. So essentially, the more the variety that you give to the system, the more it will test and learn to match the right visual to the right user. Next, your tracking is critical to feeding the algorithm. Identifying the right conversion events helps us to drive more of those high-value actions. There are two important areas here. The first one is your tags. Ensure that your Pinterest tag and your API setups are granular. We need to see specific events, such as checkouts and add to baskets, and not just page visits. And the second one is your catalogs. Maintain a high fidelity feed. The more accurate the data that you send us through your feed, the better the AI understands your inventory, and then the better it will match it to the user intent. And lastly, we recommend aligning your business goals and your marketing objectives with specific measurement sources. This will unlock visibility, compounding the power of your alignment, and will also help to ensure that you can account for every investment that you make on our platform this year. As an example, you can leverage Pinterest's own measurement tools, such as brand and conversion lift studies, for growing awareness or acquiring new customers. And you can use Ad Manager Insights alongside your measurement source of truth to uncover additional insights for your campaigns. To wrap things up, let's recap the 4 key steps of setting yourself for success when creating campaigns in Ads Manager. Step 1, always start with your KPIs. Remember that success relies on accurate inputs. You must align your KPIs strictly to the specific funnel stage and objective that you're targeting. Step 2, clean data inputs. You need to feed the algorithm to make sure that it understands your inventory. This means ensuring that granular tracking is live and maintaining a high fidelity feed. Step 3 is trusting the automation, where we recommend using solutions such as Pinterest Performance Plus to drive stronger results rather than introducing risks like over-targeting or fragmented budgets by creating campaigns manually. And lastly, step 4 is to analyze the results. Use your reporting dashboards to monitor your core conversion metrics. Look at breakdowns such as interests to see what's driving the conversions. and let that inform your future creative development. We want to thank you so much for your attention today. I know we covered a lot of information today and you might have a lot of questions. So we'll take a few minutes to answer some of your questions. While we prepare on our side to switch over to some of the questions, we would also love to get your feedback by scanning the QR code that you see on the screen, and please fill in a brief survey. And I'll hand it over to Tanmay, who will kick off the Q&A section for us.
Thanks, Vasudha. So I'll start off with a common question we get, which is which types of businesses tend to see the strongest results on Pinterest? And the answer is that all businesses can succeed on Pinterest, from creators to consumer-facing brands to business enterprises as well. What's most important is really setting up those right fundamentals to drive the results that matter to you. So as we shared before in the webinar, this includes having really clear business objectives, high quality ad creative, and healthy conversion tracking to be able to prove that what you're doing on Pinterest is linked back to your business goals.
I think the next one, I'll take the next one. What are the basics of using Ads Manager to set up and launch a campaign from start to finish without needing an agency? So Ads Manager is designed for every advertiser, from the smallest business, me sending a photo of myself for the demo, or the largest customers out there with thousands of employees, not just agencies. And you can set up that Performance Plus campaign like I did in literally 30 seconds. So just make sure you follow some of the step-to-step guidance in Ads Manager. Hopefully, from going through the flow, you can see it is fairly straightforward to get going on that side.
Great. I think I'll take the next one. How do you define and size your audience effectively within Ads Manager? Now, as Dave showed in the demo as well, when you create a campaign, you can define your audiences based on your business objectives. However, one thing that I wanted to add or flag here as well is that during the process of campaign creation, we often show you the media planner, which provides you a good estimate of audience size and potential results based on your settings. So I would recommend using Media Planner ahead of, like, in the planning stage of your campaigns, so that you can see real time. Like, it's not going to be the exact results that you should achieve, but it gives you a good indication of the audience size and even the estimated results that you might expect from the campaign.
Totally. I think we got a related question on that around how does the targeting work, including demographics, interests, and keywords. I think we covered how also P Plus will look at the creative using that automation and recognition side of things. But your campaign targeting tells us which user characteristics are more important to your business, and we use that information to help show your ads to the right users. So we definitely recommend you using something like the Performance Plus targeting that you would have seen as well, just to find some of the most relevant people out there for your business.
So the next question we've seen is how many ads should you have ready before launching a campaign? And the matter of fact is you can run a successful campaign with as little as just one ad. But as we covered off in the demo and the best practices, we do recommend having campaigns with at least 10 or more ads. And this is really helpful to let our system find the right creatives that are the best performers and really optimize the campaign delivery to drive the best results for you. So to recap, you can do it with as little as one ad, but we do recommend having 10 or more ads for the system to best optimize and find the right mix.
Great. Sticking to the theme of creative, we have one more question here which says, does repurposing content from other ad platforms work effectively on Pinterest? The short answer is yes. We want all of your ad content, regardless of where it comes from. The more, the better, especially as we move more and more towards automation as well. The best part about our algorithm is we will rotate your ads from your content to find the best performance and to find the best user match, like the most relevant user for that particular creative. So the more variety you can feed into the campaign, the more you're opening up exploration of our product and Performance Plus and automation to find the right user at the right time.
Great. I'll take the next one, which is for how should small businesses prioritize their budget across different campaign types? And again, it really goes back to that main question we have is on your business model and your overall strategy. Some businesses may want to focus a lot more on their upper funnel branding, and others may want to do a little bit more on the lower funnel outcomes. That said, if you're looking for general rules, we suggest allocating your budget with a sort of rule of thumb of having maybe 70% of your budget designed for pure lower funnel conversion goals, so those bottom of funnel metrics. 20% is for middle funnel, so your consideration goals, which was the first demo that Dave ran us through, and then 10% for your upper funnel goals as well. So again, that's a 70% for pure lower funnel, 20% for your mid funnel consideration goals, and 10% for your upper funnel. And make sure that this is, again, consistent and links up back to your business strategy and the metrics that matter most to your business.
I see a shopping question here. So with a catalog of over 200 products and a budget of $20 a day or less, how should a small business decide what to promote? So I would say if you go back to the when I was building out the campaign, there was an option for Performance Plus catalog sales. That's a really easy to use campaign type, and that's going to use all the products in your catalog and will identify some of the better performers and then show them more often. So even if you're getting set up with, say, a $20 a day budget and 200 products, it's going to test and find which one are the best performers, serve them more, and hopefully should be a great experience for you.
Right. We will close out with one last question. And that's what's the best way for someone completely new to Pinterest to start advertising? Well, the first thing I want to say is that you're in the right place if you're watching this webinar. So well done. Well done for taking that first step. However, if you want to learn at like a more self-paced, kind of self-learn pace and do it yourself over time, Pinterest Academy is the best place to get you started with these courses, videos, and webinars, which you can review at your own pace. The URL is pinterestacademy.com. We can put it in the chat as well. But go there and it has all the resources that you would need to start from scratch. And that wraps up our webinar. As a reminder, we'll share a quick follow-up email with a recording of this webinar, and we want to all thank you so much again for joining us today. All the best creating those campaigns.
All the best. Thank you.
Thanks everyone for joining.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.